This afternoon from Bradenton, Florida and Lecom Park, it's Grapefruit League action as the Pittsburgh Pirates get set to host the Baltimore Orioles Spring Training 2019. Greg Brown along with Steve Blass, we welcome you to our first telecast on AT&T Sportsnet, a special year because this is also Steve Blass's final year in the broadcast booth. So Steve, your first game on TV in 2019. We've talked a lot about it during the offseason when you made the announcement, but what do you think this is going to be like for you? It's
going to be great. It's going to be a great year, Greg. I get a chance because we announced it early to say my hellos during the course of the summer, during the course of the season. It's been wonderful. I'll look back on all of this and all of the years when I get a chance to do that. But I'm looking forward to the 2019 season. It'll be a lot of fun. Everybody's been very kind, but you know what? They're starting to catch on to me. I got to get out while I still can.
Time to get out of here. Hey, not yet. We got to find out about Jordan Lyles, who's got the inside track to the fifth starter's position. This is a veteran. Hasn't pitched great yet, but getting his work in.
Yeah, and one of the things you look at is experience, too. He has started 115 Major League games. So if you're looking at that fifth spot, and I still think that's kind of an interchangeable kind of a position. We're going to see a lot of faces, but yeah, he is in the inside track as we look at it now.
Well, the Pirates have a bunch of their starters out there today for you. Adam Frazier is going to be out there at second base. Starling Marte out in center field with Josh Bell at first. Corey Dickerson will be DHing. We'll give you the lineups, and soon the first pitch from Lecom Park in Bradenton, Florida, coming up. Field here, Jordan Lyles. He used to be the fifth starter, but that could change. But right now, as we just mentioned, the inside track to be the fifth starter as the season begins. This 28-year-old from Hartsville, South Carolina. A lot of experience in the big league. Steve talked about it. Astros, Rockies, Padres. Part of last year with the Brewers.
Yeah, 115 Major League starts. So, yeah, you look at that. If you're looking for experience, by the way, he's wearing a very proud Pirate number 31. Dave Justice wore that with great honor.
And here is the lineup for the Baltimore Orioles under new skipper Brandon Hyde, Jonathan Villar, Eric Young, Joey Rickard in the outfield. Last season, Rickard hit the .244. Rio Ruiz at third with Austin Hayes, DJ Stewart. Alcides Escobar, the veteran at shortstop. Stevie Wilkerson, Carlos Perez behind the plate. It figures to be a tough year for the Baltimore Orioles, though you figure it can't be much worse than last year when they lost 115 games. So Brandon Hyde, a former Cub coach, takes over on the bench for Buck Showalter, and we're underway here in sunny Bradenton, Florida.
Lyle has been around, as Greg said, last season, 8 starts at the Major League level with San Diego and Milwaukee combined. And he has been around. He's done a lot of starting, some work out of the bullpen last year. Most of his work was out of the pen. He's big enough, 6'5", 230. Another one of these tall tree pitchers that the Pirates seem to collect. Every team starts collecting these people that are big. I guess you can't teach big.
Can't teach big.
No.
Jordan Lyles did real good work for the Brewers down the stretch last year out of the bullpen. And in the air to left, and had been blowing in earlier, but Melky Cabrera fighting that sun makes the catch. It'll be a tough outfield to play here at Lee
Wind
Comp.
and sun today is going to be something they're going to have to battle.
There's the Honda defense. Melky Cabrera, one of the new Pirates. Starling Marte in center. Lonnie Chisenhall, another new Bucko in right. Brian Hayes, up-and-coming player in the Pirate system. Eric Gonzalez, another new Pirate. Adam Frazier at second. Josh Bell and Francisco Cervelli catching his first game this spring. He's been DHing and playing first base.
And why? They want to keep him healthy so he doesn't get banged around or get hit in the head or having any of those concussion issues. I think this is going to be a sure thing for Lyles today. He has started 115 games, Major League games, and the Orioles lost 115 last year. It all fits.
It all fits on a spring-like day here in Bradenton.
Doesn't get much better. No. This is gorgeous.
74 degrees. Had been chilly previous couple days.
That's gone.
I know you don't want to hear that. Talked to a lot of folks. Will hopefully give some shout-outs during the course of the game today. Down from Pittsburgh. Somebody said they were in from Grove City. It was 5 degrees when they left last night. Sun is shining, though, here in the friendly city. Yeah, the breeze blowing toward left.
Another hitter's day here at Lecom. Get it up in the air to left field. It's going to get out of here most of the times. Not that one. He didn't get enough of that one.
Well, that's way up there. Ke'Bryan Hayes drifting into foul ground and 2 outs.
And looking pretty confident with him. There's so many things you like about Hayes at third base. His bat has been good. We know he can pick it at third base. Pirates are very high on him. And Dad Charlie, be very happy with the way he's progressing.
People around baseball, scouts, folks that have followed the minor leagues, they're raving about Ke'Bryan Hayes. I mean, it is going to be awfully fun. It's so neat to have players in the system knowing that in a short amount of time they're going to be knocking on the door in the big leagues.
Yeah, and players that excite you.
Yes.
Yeah, and his progress is very fast. But the big story today is Lyle.
Jordan Lyles is a guy who has, Steve said, been certainly around the block. And in terms of this game, this is his official third start of Grapefruit League play. His last time out against the Yankees 5 days ago. 7 hits, 3 runs in 3 innings. But not great defense behind him. It was a rough afternoon, kind of like today, with the wind blowing and a tough sky.
You know, Greg, we've been talking all spring about the strength of the Pirates pitching, and hopefully we get some offense. But if you want to pitch good, you've got to catch the ball and throw the ball.
Here's a guy right here, Eric Gonzalez, the shortstop for the Pirates, throwing on to Josh Bell, and 1-2-3 for Jordan Lyles. And to the bottom of the first inning, Adam Frazier going to lead things off. Going to lead things off here in the bottom of the first inning, and he's going to face Mike Wright Jr. in the RAV4 starting lineup. Starling Marte in center field. Corey Dickerson will DH today. Josh Bell at first. Francisco Cervelli behind the dish. Melky Cabrera, switch hitting veteran. Lonnie Chisenhall in right. Eric Gonzalez and Ke'Bryan Hayes.
You can win with that group.
You know by now, if you follow the Pirates, that they have decided this year to have some of their starters pitch over at Pirate City and some of their position players get at bats over there. Mike Wright's numbers from last season. Frazier just getting into Grapefruit League action. Bounces out to second.
A much more grounded, perhaps, Adam Frazier, knowing he's going to be the second baseman. That eliminates a little clutter. Still going to have to work hard at what he's trying to do, but he doesn't have to worry about where he might be playing. So you get those kind of things out of your head. I think it's easier to approach your immediate job.
Yeah, that's got to be a plus. Players knowing where they're going to be. Starling Marte had been out of the lineup for a few days, but he's in there playing center field. And Steve and I behind the batting cage today during batting practice, and we noticed this from day one with Marte, and whether this translates into the type of year he and the Pirates want to have him have. He is absolutely more outgoing, intentionally trying to be maybe more of a leader. There's the veteran manager, Clint Hurdle.
It was so good to see Marte and Chisenhall in the lineup. That answers a lot of questions, I think. They're ready to go.
Chisenhall been out for a handful of games. Yeah, good to see, and probably not unintentional to see a lot of the players that will be in the starting lineup 3 weeks from today in Cincinnati as the Pirates take on the Reds. And then, of course, the home opener Monday, April 1st against the St. Louis Cardinals. Clint Hurdle, well aware that you want to see most of the players that you'll be seeing opening day, and we sure hope you'll be on hand. There's nothing like opening day in baseball. Monday, April the 1st. Pirates, Cardinals. PNC Park will be all decked out.
Where'd the offseason go, Greg?
There was an offseason?
Gone.
Especially for you. Oh my gosh. Once you made that announcement, you did it to yourself.
We opened the door, yeah.
Yep.
But, there's a reason we did it, give myself a chance to thank all the people during the course of the season rather than standing up at the last game and saying so long. So It's been busy. It's been good. So many people have been so very kind.
I'll tell you, I've known Steve Blass for a long time, and I get the real sense you are really soaking this in. This is going to be a fun year for you. And I've heard some people say this is going to be a special year for the Pirates because they're good, they're going to surprise some people, and they're going to win one for Blass. Yeah. It all works.
Yeah, and I'm not even the Gipper.
Strike 3 called on Marte.
Yeah, I'm going to have time to soak all this in, but I'm going to live it. I'm going to live every minute of this season. I'm going to enjoy it. A chance to convey that to a lot of people. A lot of people.
On radio the other day, we were in Sarasota taking on these Orioles just 2 days ago, and Steve, he and I drove together, and he says, okay, they're having a seniors run the bases, and he leaves the booth, and I see him down there in line. Seniors run the bases day, and sure enough, he ran the bases.
It just felt funny. Go down. All right, get in line. You don't go to the front of the line. Just get in the back of the line and be ready to go. So I'm starting to really live this thing Clint Eastwood was talking about. Don't let the old man in. Mm-hmm. So go for it. Full throttle.
That's great stuff, man. You and Dallas Braden had a great conversation. Dallas Braden from Barstool Sports and the former A's pitcher who pitched a perfect game as Corey Dickerson takes a strike. Corey Dickerson is the DH today, 3 for 6 with a couple of ribbies this spring. But again, a lot of at-bats over at Pirate City in what they call the controlled environment.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about wins and losses. They can work on pet projects. But there comes a time where you want to be involved with the atmosphere, competitive atmosphere, whether it's a spring training game or getting ready for the regular season. Get used to this thing that you want to win, regardless of the fact it's not even the middle of March yet. A lot of people in the stands. Let's win a ball game.
Don't think these guys don't know that you're watching them here on AT&T Sportsnet. They know it very well that this is the first telecast, and there was a kind of an extra bit of excitement, a buzz in the clubhouse and around the batting cages. Boy, Mike Wright maybe vying for a starting role for the Birds this year.
Chris Archer and Jamison Tyone making their way in from the bullpen to the dugout here after an inning where scoreless between the Buccos and the Pirates on AT&T Sportsnet. I'm Robbie Ince-Mikowski. Well, Jordan Lyles getting set for his second inning of action here for the Buccos. He chose to sign with the Pirates in free agency this season. One of the questions I was able to ask him was, you could have gone anywhere. Why did you choose to come to Pittsburgh?
Playing at PNC, being at pitcher's ballpark, working with Ray, possibility of starting again. There's a lot of positives that came into this decision. Neil up front was up front from the beginning and showed his interest, so we felt like it was going to be a great fit.
That attracted the Pirates to Jordan Lyles was when they looked at his splits last year. When I say splits, I mean the difference between the two teams. He started with the San Diego Padres, Greg and Steve, and then he went to the Brewers, where his ERA dropped. He only pitched 11 games, but his ERA dropped by nearly an entire run. So that made him pretty attractive to the Buccos, and obviously he's off to a decent start so far in his first spring with the Buccos, guys.
Thank you, Robbie. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, Jordan Lyles. All those fits when he decided to come to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I want to go back to the fact, working with Ray, you can't underestimate that. If you want to join a new ball club, and he's bounced around, so he can assess all these kind of things, you couldn't ask for more support from your pitching coach than you would get from Ray Sears. I don't know how it's going to turn out for him, but it had to be a comfortable arrival with this organization.
Signed as a free agent again in December. Last year, those games with the Padres and the Milwaukee Brewers, the Brewers used him exclusively out of the bullpen, and he finished with a 3.31 ERA. He made 8 starts of his 24 appearances with the Padres. And Steve, you pointed this out too. His numbers over his career have not been great. Of course, didn't get a great call there from Bill Welke, who would like to have had the strikeout of Rio Ruiz. But he came to the big leagues. I didn't even notice this. You pointed this out when he was 20. So he's still relatively young in terms of trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and bits and pieces of 8 major league seasons.
Yeah.
So the experience is there. How about career-wise, the equal ERA out of the bullpen and a starter, 5.28. I mean, it's not a great ERA, but gets your attention when they're exactly the same.
Yeah.
Unless that's a typo, that is that's unbelievably rare.
Yeah, no typo.
28 years old. That's a lot of experience. So we'll see how it plays out. You know, we can't dismiss the fact that Kingham had 4 scoreless against the world champs.
Looked real good yesterday against the Red Sox down in Fort Myers. Nick Kingham, he and Stephen Brault were both told that it would be a battle for them to be in the rotation at the start of the season, that Jordan Lyles had the inside track. They wanted to be transparent with the other pitchers. But
it's an interesting subject too, because that's a number 5 starter. You're going to see different people in that role during the course of the season. It's a possibility you could see all 3 of these guys at times starting ball games.
You see the numbers last year.
For Brault, a lot of it's being consistent with control, and he can help you either way. He's had bullpen work. He's had starting work. Nick Kingham is out of options.
Yep.
We saw what he can do, what he's capable of doing yesterday, and that's one sample, of course. So you kind of step back and see how this thing is going to play out.
It'll be fun to talk to not only Ray Searage about the pitching staff and those starters, but Neil Huntington. They will both be joining us on the telecast. Ray will be live with us down on the field at the bottom of the 3rd inning, and then in the booth with us in the bottom of the 4th inning, Neil Huntington, the Pirates general manager. Find out what they're thinking. And now full count on Austin Hayes. Here's Uncle Ray. He's feeling better.
Yep, and among the best right there, among the best.
Back surgery late last year.
Got a little bounce in his step, doesn't he?
In the air to center, Marte. Runner was off on the pitch. Austin Hayes flies out. There's DJ Stewart to face Jordan Lyles. Came to the big leagues with the Houston Astros. He was drafted by Houston, a supplemental 1st-round pick in 2008, the 38th pick overall that year in baseball.
So we say supplemental, but I mean, he's a 1st-rounder.
Yeah.
So the rest of it's technical.
Mm-hmm.
That's a high choice.
High praise. He's trying to work the inner half of that plate.
I like him already. He works from the very first base side of the pitching rubber. I always did that, and I don't know why. Maybe it was just comfort, but.
There's a bluff start over at first, did not go. Rio Ruiz.
Seen a couple good curveballs here. He's only thrown 27 pitches. That was an off-speed pitch there. It picked up the outside corner.
There's the look. And Cervelli not able to keep it in front as the ball bounces well in front of home plate. So that wild pitch, which by the way is something, you know, we discussed a lot last year.
Comes up on Cervelli, not quite able to get enough of the body in front.
Pirates need to do a better job, certainly. Pitchers, catchers working in tandem to reduce the number of wild pitches.
Different projects during the course of spring. They want the pitchers to be better fielders also. Worked on that. And they worked on it in an interesting way. During batting practice, they're having the pitchers come in and throw a pitch to home plate, and they've got batters up there that will swing and miss on purpose or make a bunt attempt on purpose and miss, and the pitchers react to that. No screen in front of them. They're to make the play. They roll the ball to them, and so they worked a lot rather than have it just that rote where they all line up and okay, we'll go over and cover it first. They have that pitch coming in, and they don't know if it's going to be a bunt or a ground ball that they throw to second. So they got it a little more active than just the
out of the routine.
Yeah,
right?
the routine and repetitions are good, but if you don't really do them aggressively, you're killing time. Nice breaking ball there.
Strikeout keeps Ruiz there. DJ Stewart punches out.
First K, and here's how it comes about. Well, maybe a changeup. It didn't look like it had much side-to-side break. Just maybe out in front of an off-speed delivery. I have not seen Lyles work, so catch up as we do together here on what kind of stuff he has. We heard that the curveball is very much above average.
And used that more and more late last year. Jordan Lyles maybe found through the analytics and so on that it's a pitch that he should implement and will implement more. Ball one on Alcides Escobar. The former Brewer, former Royal.
Not a bad little sequence there, not a big deal, but you miss with a fastball on the first pitch. A lot of hitters will think you're coming back with a fastball just getting the count, and he went off speed and had him out in front. Nice little 1-2 sequence.
1-2.
So back-to-back off-speed pitches. I think you might think about coming up and in with a fastball after he has shown him some slow stuff. Who knows? It's up to Mr. Cervelli now. It's all in his hands.
And they love pitching to Francisco Cervelli. He's hoping to put a healthy year together and catch even more than he did last year. Well, he was like a little kid at Christmas time today when we were down there talking with him, talking about a bounce in his step. Even though he's played a lot of games as a DH first baseman, this is his first Grapefruit League game behind the plate. Got in on him, but he fought it off and into center field. That will give the Orioles the lead. Escobar.
Pretty good piece of hitting there as that ball tried to get in, but didn't get in far enough. The old bugaboo again, a leadoff walk.
We're talking about Cervelli. Allegheny Health Network injury update. Elias Diaz, a virus has kept him out of action for a while. He saw doctors yesterday for that undisclosed virus, going to be evaluated week to week. So as he gets back, basically he's going to need a spring training. There's little doubt now that we are 3 weeks from opening day that unless a miracle occurs, he's going to end up starting the year on the injury list. And that means that Jacob Stallings, whom the Pirates thought they might lose because he's out of options, Jacob Stallings will, again, barring any other injury or illness, Jacob Stallings would start the year as Francisco Cervelli's backup.
Little conference. Ray Searage might have seen something in a delivery, though it also might be, Greg, just one of those little getting to know you conferences on the mound. This guy's been around, but if Ray sees something in delivery that maybe they've been working on that he didn't like right there, I wouldn't be surprised if he just went out. How he reacts to visits on the mound.
Stevie Wilkerson faces Jordan Lyles. You see the pitch count there, approaching 40. And catches that inside corner with that fastball, just 92, but well located.
Yep, saw 93. Haven't seen much more than that in terms of speed to this point.
Runner goes.
Orioles want to fly, but
yeah.
they have to go back to the cage at first base.
Lyles with parts of 3 years with the Astros, parts of 4 seasons pitching for the Colorado Rockies, and then to San Diego and Milwaukee.
Nice looking hook.
The walk in the wild pitch hurting Lyles there. 1-0 Baltimore. Hey, the Pirates sheets MTO 6-pack is back. Made to order. Choose any 6 games throughout the season. Lock in prices for your favorite seating category. Plans start as low as $120. And for a limited time, each 6-pack comes with $25 in loaded value, good for concessions and merchandise. Check it out, pirates.com/6-pack.
That was a nice read, Greg. Nice read. Mid-season.
Mid-season form, you think, Steve?
Yep, I think so.
You've
been over at Pirate City
yeah,
practicing on some pet projects.
Yep. A few promo reads.
I'd like to join you in some of
over on the backfields. We do that too, just like the players.
A little rusty at times.
You know, we've got a lot of games in store for you now. The rest of the home games here at Lecom Park will be on AT&T Sportsnet. And Josh Bell lifts one high and deep to center, but it's not going to carry out.
But it was fun to watch for a while. Got up there and the breeze couldn't quite move it enough. Straight away, that ball's hit the left field. They're still chasing it.
That is a big man. Hey, it's announcer photo day today too, by the way. You know, the team photos the players take. We had one today at Lecom. Dave Arrigo, our official team photographer. And there is the man of the hour, the man of the year, front and center.
Yeah, you see the guys have their regular
we
shirts
got
on.
work clothes on.
The older guys get the older shirts.
And you get to wear the jeans. You can wear whatever you want this year, by the way. There's Mr. Bob Walk and Joe Block on the radio side, the director of broadcasting, Mark Garda, alongside.
Well, thank you, all of you four, for your patience while I'm doing all this stuff, and you guys have to go jump through some hoops.
Thank us at the end of the year.
Okay.
Because we have a long way to go.
Maybe a few bucks for the effort.
Yeah. Bounce to third, Rio Ruiz. Hey, if you have a thought or comment, we've got Twitter and social media available to you and for us at hashtag Bucks Booth. Try and get to some of your tweets, your comments, Instagrams, whatever, on our first telecast of the 2019 season.
I'm going to have a chance to thank all the guys that we work with, Adam and Pete, Tyler, Steelman.
Yeah, the gang's back together today.
Yep, all the folks on the
A
crew.
team. Melky Cabrera.
They try to make me understand what we do on TV.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, the clock's ticking.
Melky Cabrera was brought in as a minor league free agent, a non-roster invitee, but hard to imagine a scenario where he isn't on the club, because that's an experienced 34-year-old bat. He just one of those guys that knows how to hit.
We got a little sampling the other day over in Sarasota. You know, just trying to do nothing other than hit the ball or his pitch. A couple just business-like professional base hits by Melky. No headlines, just doing what good hitters do.
Well-traveled veteran Melky Cabrera, who this spring is 5 out of 16 or .313 batting average.
Career numbers.
Was with the Cleveland Indians last year, hit .280. Goes the other way, and there you have it.
That's what good hitters do.
Now he's chugging along these days at the age of 34, but he'll stand at second with a double.
Pitch out away, not trying to pull it. Tucks it inside the foul line and then chugs on into second. Look out there. That's exactly what that mind was trying to do as that ball got closer. Just push it out that way. Nicely done. So we look at him, and now we're going to be able to look at Lonnie Chisenhall more. So we're going to start seeing more and more of these guys in this kind of action.
Chisenhall brought in to at least begin the year in right field with Gregory Polanco to start the year on the disabled list, though he appears to be ahead of schedule. Polanco will begin the season on the injured list. And Lonnie Chisenhall, who's 3 for 7 in Grapefruit League action. When he's been healthy, and Unfortunately for him, that's not been enough. But over the years with Cleveland, he has hit. Now 30 years old. Morehead City, North Carolina native, limited to just 29 games last season with calf injuries.
By the way, the Polanco's update, still kind of working primarily on throwing, bringing in the throwing part of his recovery.
He did play catch yesterday from, I think, 120 feet, I saw, working on some sliding drills.
Good.
Yeah.
Really good. I spent a lot of time on that over Pirate City. That awkward approach into second base last year. You knew it wasn't going to be good. I just didn't know the extent of the injury. So when he gets back, could you have the two extra outfielders be Chisenhall and Cabrera?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Line up that way, perhaps.
Chisenhall can bounce around, play some infield positions if need be.
You know, with that overview of this Pirate team, Greg, we might see moving parts by different people that you might not expect to be moving around at different parts.
We sure didn't expect to see Melky Cabrera in center field, but we did.
You're welcome.
We saw Melky Cabrera play center field on Tuesday in Sarasota. To Steve's point, a lot of moving parts.
We got guys at third that can play first. We got guys at third, maybe one player that can play short, Jung Ho Gung. Yeah, so might see some mixing and matching.
There's Eric Gonzalez.
Boy, did he make a play the other day in Sarasota that we never expected him to even get to rather than complete the play.
How about three former Indians? Cabrera, Chisenhall, Eric Gonzalez all played for the Cleveland Indians last year.
Maybe I will get my wish to see a lot of Indians in Pittsburgh.
Well, you grew up an Indians fan.
Oh, big Indians fan. Yep, yep.
You and Stan Savern.
Yeah. They broke our heart in the World Series a lot of years ago.
Chisenhall fouling some pitches off here from Mike Wright after the two-out double by Melky Cabrera. And he offers at that hard breaking ball.
Lonnie knew it. The umpire down at third base knew it. And there we go.
Know what you had until Little Caesars soft press.
And a perfectly sunny day for baseball. So we hit inning number 3 here between the Buccos and the Orioles. I'm standing behind the dugout. And with expanded rosters of recent years in Major League Baseball, the Pirates need to expand the dugouts. So this past offseason, they did exactly that. If you look right here in front of me, the Pirates expanded their dugouts all the way behind the on-deck circle. This replaces what was previously a safety concern, as coaches used to spend their time during games here on a 2-tiered bench with just an infield screen in front of them. So that removes a safety concern and also gives them a bunch of space as we get a diving attempt by Josh Bell. Unfortunately, he's not able to come up with the catch. So that's one of the unique things that they did here at Lecom Park for the season. They expanded the dugouts on both sides. Another thing they did is they lowered the infield 10 inches. The infield is now the same grade as PNC Park, so the guys feel a little bit closer to what they'll be playing on for their home games for 81 games a year, Greg and Steve. But certainly, Clint Hurdle and his staff a lot happier. They're guarded by a bunch more than just an infield screen. They have some high-top bar stools down there as well that they're sitting on.
Better for them, Robbie. Not as much fun for us. It was fun to see all those guys, the coaches out there in those stools. Really good look at coach both the home and visitors. And good to have Robbie back. Steve?
Yes, absolutely. First day we've seen him, and he said, what was it, just 6 years ago when we first met?
Yeah, I think Robbie, Steve had some nice words for you. Welcomed you into the booth, didn't he?
You know, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful to work with a fine gentleman like Steve who keeps it light for us all the days that we get to spend some time with him, and, you know, also knows his baseball as well, right, Greg?
Oh, yes, absolutely. He knows, he's been around the block. Good to have Robbie back.
Yep. Good to work with Joe Block.
Yes.
Yeah. Been around the block, been around the Brown.
The gang's all here.
Yep. There we go.
Back on AT&T Sportsnet.
And we're quite fortunate that Josh Bell didn't hurt himself.
Yes,
on that
what a heck of a try.
Yeah, and you look at the ribs, you reach over like that.
I mean, you see the ball popped out of his mitt, too.
This would have been a spectacular finish to that effort.
Man.
But here goes Josh.
Well, what a great look. And it's fun to have a super slow-mo for the first time in a spring training game. We've not brought the super slow-mo camera previously with us, and so we've got it today for you. And a great effort there by Josh Bell. Great work by Amy King, her dad, Nellie, the late, great Nellie King, the former Pirate and Pirate broadcaster, would be awfully proud. In fact, he's smiling right now, Amy.
Yep.
Looking down, thumbs up for Nellie.
That was the best.
Jonathan VR. Flied to left his first time up against Lyles, and to center this time. Out number 2 here in the 3rd inning.
And don't have any idea what the extension of Lyles is going to be, but so far so good. This will be a tidy 3rd. If it comes to that, maybe a 1-2-3. You wonder if he'd come out for the 4th, but
probably scheduled to go 4. He went 3 his last time against the Yankees 5 days ago.
And so far 48 pitches. The tidy 1-2-3 innings always look good. Always good on the resume.
Eric Young Jr. now.
The end of the top of the 2nd was as a result of a real good curveball. Got a call 3rd strike, and we've seen, as I said, some good breaking pitches.
Here's Eric Gonzalez. A little bobble, and he won't get him.
Yeah, you know why? Because we were raving about Eric
yeah,
Gonzalez's skills as a shortstop, and that was the Adam ball. We put the curse on him. E6.
That's on us.
Let him shifted up toward the back of second base, and just a step over, but might have looked up, lost the handle.
Eric Gonzalez and Kevin Newman have been sharing that shortstop position this spring. We're going to talk to Ray Searage in the bottom of this inning. Maybe ask him about that pitch that ended that last inning as Chisenhall's throw is cut off, and Eric Young Jr., 33 years old, still can motor as Joey Rickard singles to right.
I think that whole situation with Gonzalez, my fault. I was talking about the tidy 1-2-3 inning. So E-blast.
See, they're wearing that 20 patch this year. Frank Robinson, Hall of Fame, longtime Oriole, Hall of Famer, passed away this offseason.
One of the best. One of the best. But Triple Crown winner, MVP both leagues.
But the guys you had to face in that World Series.
Yes. And,
including Frank Robinson.
I remember a slider, 2 sliders that I hung to him. One in the 3rd game, he hit it, knocked out a couple seats at Three River Stadium, and the other one with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, right there to do it again, and he popped it up.
Man.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Frank. You know, that World Series was billed initially as the battle of the 2 great right fielders, right? Frank Robinson and Clemente.
Rio Ruiz.
Good way to bill it.
Yeah.
Curveball again.
Ruiz, a 4th-round pick of the Astros 7 years ago. So you're looking at a couple of guys that were in the Astros organization for a time. Ruiz was claimed off waivers by the Orioles in December from Atlanta. And he sneaks it up the middle for a hit to bring home a 2nd run.
The error has opened the door.
So walk, wild pitch last inning opened the door. A 2-out single by Escobar brought in that run. Ruiz had singled and went to 2nd on a wild pitch in the 2nd. Here he singles home Eric Young Jr.
Just a simple ground ball, just out of the reach of Lyles right there, and now it becomes the 2nd run.
Eric Gonzalez charged with the error. Austin Hayes now.
We always talk damage control for starters. You're always going to have issues. Going to give up some hits. Somebody's going to kick one behind you. It's how accomplished you become at minimizing damage. Big factor for people that start Major League games. Most people that start Major League games, not the relievers that start Major League games. Doesn't count for them.
Sunshine and baseball, spring training.
And not one of those unbearably hot days, the
No.
80s, but
Yeah.
you can sit anywhere and be comfortable today. This is perfection. And we ordered this for our first TV game.
Yeah, we thought you'd like it. So put the order in for this day as we start our 2019 AT&T Sportsnet schedule. Pirates baseball. And so many people we had a chance to say hello to, wanted us to give shout outs to their friends and family back home. Sean and Adam Seipold from Greensburg. And it's going to be out of play our way.
I'm ready today, Greg. If we get
I
one
know
up here.
you're ready.
Yep, yep. I chickened out on the line drive earlier in the week.
Yeah, you put a little. You didn't, but the foul ball did put a dent in the back wall of our radio broadcast booth.
Yep, better than my forehead.
Yep.
I like it better there.
Yep.
By the way, they're warming up in the Pirate bullpen, so this extended third could be it for Mr. Lyles.
And apparently reach a pitch count. So hoping that Jeff Hartley won't have to come in and get the last out here in the third, but he's getting ready in case.
Having had a nice year at Altoona last year, Jeff.
Runner going, and he'll throw down, and now to the plate, and the out call there. Nicely done by Adam Frazier. Pirates second baseman knew he had some time, fired a strike to Cervelli. 2-0 Birds. We'll talk to Ray next. We're back here in Bradenton, head to the bottom of the third inning.
The Tiki Hut, always a popular spot.
2-zip Birds. Eric Gonzalez leads things off for the Pirates. Will be followed by Key Brian Hayes, who has promised. A great pitching coach for the Pirates. Ray Sirridge joins us, kind enough to do that. Ray, we discussed Jordan Lyles and this camp. We know we've seen you wearing that smile. Not that that's unordinary for you, but I think it's especially gleeful this spring because of the pitchers you have in camp.
Most definitely, the way they're going about their business and the way they're going out there to compete. It's a good sign for what the season's going to bring.
Ray, any spots available in the rotation pen at this point in spring training?
Yeah, the number 5 spot, there's 3-4 guys shooting for that one. And then in the pen, there's 1, maybe 2 spots. So we'll have to see, get them their work, and let's see what we got, and we'll make a decision when that time comes.
Hard hit by Gonzalez. Nice play, but the second baseman VR's throw was off the mark, and still the first baseman Wilkerson able to apply a tag. So 1 away. It'll bring up Key Brian Hayes. So Ray, I don't know how you've been able to handle spring training without your assistant Steve Blass, who was over there.
It's been tough. It's been tough, I'll tell you.
Well, you need a lot of work, Ray, and I'm willing to spend time with you. And this is my last year, so we got to get it done this year.
Yeah, I would like you to come down anytime you're free and join me.
I'm not free, Ray. I'm reasonable.
Key Brian Hayes is at the plate, 1 away here in the third. Ray,
I will say, Ray, I'm looking forward to our Sunday visits. I always enjoy them. We have a lot of fun during the interview, before and after. So I look forward to that.
We do. I enjoy them too.
Ray, do you mind the onus on this team being so heavily pitching minded? When people talk about the Pirates maybe And a lot of people in this camp certainly believe the Pirates are going to win a lot of ball games, but everybody says that pitching staff is so good, they've got to win a lot of ball games. Do you like that responsibility?
Yes. Yeah, we embrace that. It's not like we're going to shy away from that, but if you look over the past years, it's always been the pitching. And the way we're going to go this year, we're not going to change any pages in the book or anything, but we're going to still attack and be aggressive and let their talent show. And these guys are prepared. They're getting definitely ready for the season. And I like what I see so far, especially their mindset and their approaches and how we're sequencing and how we're tunneling is just we're better than we were last year.
Well, that's a sensational play there by one Hayes, robbing another. Austin Hayes, an incredible catch. Brian Hayes was flirting with another double. He's had a bunch of those this spring.
Ray, are we going to see another inning from Lyles?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll send him back out there.
I've seen several good curveballs. Am I seeing it right from our vantage point up here?
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, definitely. He's also mixing in a lot more changeups in this outing. Getting a feel for his pitches. You know, he's just making, he's just missing, and then he's just leaving, pitches over the plate. But that's why they're going out there and they're spinning out the innings and to get sharper and sharper and to figure out what they need to work on. And that's what we do in the bullpens. And we try to make sure that we get ourselves taken care of and work on the weaknesses that we had in the previous game. So this way in the next start, we could work on them and they become strengths.
There's a pitch in for a strike. Ray, you went out. Can you tell us, did you just see something that you wanted to mention, or was this just one of those getting to know you visits out to the mound?
No, he was up at a pitch count where I need to give him a breather, let him regroup. And that's what I basically said to him, take your time. Let's get regrouped here so you can face this hitter and take a breath. And then we'll go right after him. And then surveilling him, what pitch you want to go with. We'll go here, we'll go there. And that's it, just to kind of break the momentum of the opposing team.
Ray, at this point in the spring training with a new guy, an error is committed. Could have had an easy 1-2-3 inning. Do you start looking at damage control and how guys handle those kind of things? Is it too early for that?
It's a little bit too early for that, and especially with Jordan, that's not going to be a problem. If you can remember his last 3 inning stint, we had some hiccups. But he was able to battle through it. This one it just didn't, just missed a couple of pitches that were good pitches, but just didn't hit the location. So no, I don't see any panic coming out of him whatsoever. It's just that okay, that's good. Let's get the next hitter.
Yeah, 115 major league starts under his belt. That's not a surprise for sure. Is he going to be in the mid 90s speed-wise as you see it progress?
I would think so. Right now, the way he's getting his pitches in, the velocity is varying. It's going from 92 to 94, but he's sitting at 92, 93. I would see a click, maybe more, out of him. I would definitely see the sharpness of the secondary stuff coming around and command with that also. So, it's going to be an add and subtract type thing with him, but he's going to be fine. He's going to get his work in. We'll send him back out there for the 4th, and we'll see how it plays out.
Ray, with a veteran like that, do you think he feels any particular extra amount of pressure with this 5th starter spot?
No, I don't. So
he's been around long enough to.
Yeah. He knows that there's an opportunity there. He's not pressing or anything like that. If you could watch, everything's coming out free and easy. It's just like I said before, the command is not that real sharp, and sometimes it is on sequences, and sometimes he misses. So I don't see any pressure coming out of him, especially in our conversations whatsoever. He knows what he has to do. There's an opportunity for him to do it, and he's going to take it with both hands. And if it wiggles, he ain't going to let it go.
Starling Marte at the plate with 2 strikes, 2 outs, hoping to continue because love visiting with Ray Searage. Ray, you're coming up on your 9th full season as the Pirates pitching coach, 17th in the organization. I know it feels like yesterday, but you've had a lot of good staffs. Is it hard to put a finger on where this one stacks up against the others, where it ranks?
Well, I think I got a little bit more feel for them because they grew up with me in the major leagues, and to watch them evolve out there on the mound and become bona fide major leaguers, it really swells my heart. And they become men out there, and you know, it's like an empty nest now. You know, they'll come to me when they need me, but majority of the time they're going to take care of business, and they're going to go about their business out there, and they're hardcore competitors. Nice English.
Well, we appreciate Ray Searage being with us for sure as the Orioles lead the Pirates 2-0. Uncle Ray, our guest. We head now to the 4th inning, and Baltimore up 2-0. And Ray Searage just telling us that Jordan Lyles is going back out there for the 4th, and he is, as the Parrot gets some hugs.
As he always does.
Gonzalez, another chance. So quickly, one away. Well, coming up new for the 2019 season is the Papa John's student ticket. Students can get upper bleacher seats for just $10 for every game while supplies last. Tickets are digital and valid for every bobblehead, fireworks, dollar dog night, you name it. Pirates.com/student. Take advantage of the great bargain, the Papa John's student ticket. Again, Pirates.com/student. Is the Parrot in mid-season form, Steve? No.
Never rusty.
Oh, nice play there. Mid-season form.
There's no rust on a Rolls Royce. Well, they grow them tall in the Pirates pitching staff, and there goes Lyles up in the air. Doesn't have to go too far, but 2 quick outs here, and maybe we can have that comfortable 1-2-3 inning. He's putting himself in a position to have that. You know, Ray makes a good point about so many things about a guy that's been around. You know, the no panic thing, the calmness. You know, you're not so antsy as a young pitcher, or might be. So it's going to happen here in the top of the 4th. Now that's the way to put a blue ribbon on your outing right there.
6 pitches. Neil Huntington will join us in the bottom of the 4th.
It's time for the all-new redesigned Toyota RAV 4th inning. Toyota, let's go places.
2-0 Orioles lead here. Spring training baseball coming your way from beautiful Lecom Park in Bradenton, Florida. We're going to talk with Neil Huntington here as Josh Osich takes over on the mound for Baltimore. Mike Wright went 3. There you see the numbers for Josh Osich. We'll face Corey Dickerson to start things off. Well, Neil, we just chatted with Ray Searage. It was a quick inning. Hopefully this one lasts a bit longer so we can get to so many topics to discuss. But I guess we started off in general terms about the buzz that is palpable in this clubhouse and around this team, and not just amongst the players, but Pirate fans who've come down here. They are fired up about this club.
Well, that's good to hear. I know the players are, Brownie. This is a talented group. It's a young group. It's a together group. They care about each other. They believe in each other, and they believe that we're going to go out and do some great things this year.
Corey Dickerson, who's DHing today. In terms of injuries, it sounded as though Gregory Polanco is, could you say, ahead of schedule?
Well, we always want to be cautious because, one, Gregory deserves all the credit in the world. He has worked so hard, and he is where we could hope he could be. We still have to get through the throwing progression. He's in the middle of that right now, but physically he's in tremendous shape and has worked as hard as he can get. Swinging the bat, he looks great. We just need to get through this throwing progression before we truly have a feel how quickly we're going to be able to get him back.
And isn't it good to Neil that even though it's nothing major, now we got Marte out there. You got Chisenhall. Doesn't that make some things fade away?
It does, and it's been great to get our young guys at bats. J.B. Shucks had a great spring so far. Kivlahan, again, a veteran guy that we brought in to compete to make the club. They've gotten a ton of opportunity. Keep Brian Hayes, Will Craig. They've gotten Cole Tucker. They've gotten a ton of at bats, and that's great for their development. At the same time, it's time that we start to get our regulars out there and they start to play in the same lineup at the same time. And just get their at-bats and get their timing and get their readiness for the season as well.
Yeah, and the fans get to see them, and okay.
No question.
They're going to be okay.
No question. Our starters need to do the same thing. Chris Archer is the only one of our primary 4 starters that's taken the mound, but at the same time, we've had opportunities for Brault and Lyles and Kingham to go out and compete for this 5th starter spot, and each one has done some things really well. Each one has had a little bit of struggles here and there, but each one has shown us that they're capable of being good major league pitchers.
And we'll talk about Lyles, but also we didn't see Kingham, but it looked very impressive.
You know, and he pitched great. He went down there against the World Series champion Red Sox, and all but J.D. Martinez were in the lineup. He mixed his pitches. He matched his pitches. I actually told Nick today, from a pure pitch standpoint, we've seen a better fastball. We've seen a better pure curveball. We've seen a better pure cutter. We've seen a better pure changeup. But he mixed and matched, and he used different parts of the zones. He sped hitters up. He slowed hitters down. He hit his spots really well, elevated, sunk it, got the breaking ball for strikes behind in the count, got the breaking ball for chase ahead in the count. It was just a great game against a really good Red Sox lineup.
Sounds like a lot of pitching rather than throwing.
Exactly, Steve, that's it. You would have been very proud of him that day. He pitched, and again, coming off an outing in which we didn't get the results he was looking for, or we were looking for, to have him bounce back and go against that lineup, that's a great step forward for Nick.
Bob and I were down there to watch, had that on the Pirates.com webcast as Josh Bell grounds into the double play, so 2 outs. But great to see Nick Kingham. But you were up front with Kingham and Brault, you and Clint Hurdle, Ray Searage, and you kind of let them know, listen, just so you guys know, the guy that's got the inside track is the veteran, Jordan Lyles.
We talked about that, and Jordan's working through getting all of his pitches ready to go here in spring training, but at the same time, his 4-seamer and curveball are what put him in a position to be successful, and we're going to have to fall back on that here sooner than later. But he does have weapons. He has a sinker, he has a cutter, he has a slider, but that 4-seamer and that curveball are going to be the pitches that he's had success with, and he's going to have success with going forward. He's just trying to sharpen them all up right now. But again, they've each had good outings. They've each had some tough outings. Stevens thrown some very good Brault's thrown some very good changeups this year. Fastball command has been spotty, and he's gotten himself in trouble at times, but he's also shown the ability to get himself out of trouble at times.
One of the factors for Steven, we've gotten to know him over the years, is the consistency of control, because we have seen some good things, but they've got to play.
Well, and that's where you look at the front 4 in our rotation, and that's what they do really well. Jamison Tyone, Chris Archer, Trevor Williams, and Joe Musgrove. And Joe Musgrove, again, about 15 starts last year. We're talking about a low 3 ERA. His last 5 starts, I think it was, when the abdominal issue was starting to crop up. He will never make an excuse, and that's what you love about the guy. But he was a different guy. But that command that Musgrove shows on all of his pitches, the command that Trevor Williams has, especially in the second half, is when he was among the best pitchers in baseball in the second half last year. His ability to command, his ability to mix and match, his ability to pitch, Tyone's ability to throw all of his pitches in any count. Again, the command is so crucial for those guys. And Chris Archer, who had his debut the other day in Sarasota, he was strong and he was sharp. The fastball at the top of the zone, the sinker at the bottom, which is a new weapon for him this year. The changeup is filthy, and another potential swing and miss pitch from him. And he's in great spirits and he's in a good spot. So you go with that front 4 with the command that they have, and that often separates a good pitcher or a mediocre pitcher from a good one, or a good one from a great one.
Yeah, Archer, I love the speed separation. The other day over in Sarasota, just going away from that live fastball, speeding them up, as you say, and slowing them down. That's such a good thing to see from a guy with such a live arm. Sometimes they lean on that live arm to the extent that they don't get the separation, but I thought he did a great job of that.
Absolutely, and then you get the back 4 in the bullpen. Vasquez, his one outing so far, hit 100 in his first outing, and then is battling the upper respiratory infection, but he'll be fine and he'll be good to go. Richard Rodriguez has picked up where he left off. Kella is showing the power fastball with the power breaking ball. Kyle Crick's had a couple tough outings, but he's going to get on track, and that's a great back end of our bullpen.
And a base hit for Francisco Cervelli. And because of that, you already named the star. I don't remember ever a club 2 weeks before the first spring training game naming their rotation in order. I thought that was tremendous. And I thought that spoke volumes about how good this starting rotation is. You come out and say, hey, these are the guys in order.
Yeah, and some of that goes back to our pitchers. They are diligent. They are driven to be great, and they want to prepare. And in their minds, they asked us, hey, if we have an idea, can we get that earlier so that we can map out our throwing programs and our workouts from day one of spring training until we make our opening day, their opening day start. They're considering each one of their starts as their opening day, and we're looking forward to a great year from this group.
Neil, thanks so much. If you don't mind sticking around for another half inning.
We can stick around.
All right, thanks, Neil Huntington. We'll love asking him those questions right on the spot. Pirates trail 2-0. Now Jordan Lyles gets his work in. UPMC scoreboard, 2-0 ball game through 4, but pitched very well. That unearned run in the third, the walk wild pitch in the second was costly. Arden Pabst takes over now behind the plate for an interesting guy here, Jeff Hartlieb.
Yeah, Jeff is a power sinker slider guy that was a basketball player mostly in college. That his junior year, actually unfortunately lost his mom his junior year, so he went back for his senior year, and our scouts stayed with him. They liked him a lot. Again, an athlete that's learning how to pitch, but he's got a mid-90s sinker. He can get the four-seamer in the upper 90s with a quality slider to go with it. Loves to compete. And on cue, he gives up a deep fly ball.
And over the head of Starling Marte, so Stevie Wilkerson, who's a big-time prospect for Baltimore, over the center field wall. And a 3-0 ball game as the first baseman Wilkerson in the lineup. Chris Davis was scratched yesterday with a sore hip flexor. But Hartley, we saw him the other day in Tampa against the New York Yankees, Neil, and he was so impressive against, I mean, the big boppers, the big bombers.
Well, in our entrance interview, Clint asked Jeff something he was proud of a year ago, and he said, I don't think I gave up an inherited run or scored. And Clint said, you like to come in with runners on base? He said, I thrive on it. I love to pick up my teammates. I've got a sinker that I can get a ground ball with. I can get strikeouts with my breaking ball. And he said, I do better coming in the middle of an inning, and there we go. And so he came in the beginning of an inning,
yeah.
He gave up an early count home run, and now we'll see him dig in and see this sinker go to work, this power sinker. Again, 95-mile-an-hour sinker, that just heavy depth. And going back to that Yankees game, when you get Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton to hit balls into the dirt in front of home plate with the bases loaded or runners in scoring position, you're doing something.
And he came in with the bases loaded, nobody out. And I mean, it's like a mini Yankee Stadium there, filled, the place is going crazy, and Aaron Judge bounces into a double play, and then Stanton grounds out to end the inning. That was impressive.
That's on top of being impressive, the joy that young man can feel. Hey, I'm in this arena. Those are those two guys, and I got them. That's a shot in the arm.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff.
It's a reminder for him when he does get to the big leagues. He's already kind of been there and already done an amazing job, and just something to build that confidence and something to remember the next time an 8-hole hitter goes deep on him, that he goes back to getting what he does well and pounding that sinker in the bottom part of the zone, getting ahead in the count, and getting people to beat the ball into the ground.
Hartlieb with the 10 saves last year with the Altoona Curve, 47 outings. The 25-year-old now facing Carlos Perez. Well, it speaks also, Neil, I guess, to some of the depth, because if you look at the rotation the Pirates have, you named the 4 starters, in the 5th one, Jordan Lyles with probably the inside track, but then you have guys knocking on the door, Kingham, Brault, rookie Davis, kind of under the radar signing there.
It was. Rookie's a guy that we've liked a handful of years. He's got some velocity, but he's not velocity only. He can throw multiple pitches for strikes and multiple counts. He's an intense competitor, and a guy that has just battled injury here for a couple of years. Was a part of the Chapman trade from the Yankees to the Reds, and just never really got on track over there due to injury. He's healthy, feels great, threw the ball very well in his first 2 innings there in Dunedin. You go Clay Holmes, Mitch Keller, JT Brubaker, Slaggers is an interesting guy, a different look for us.
Oh my, look at Key Brian Hayes. Oh, well, let's shift gears on cue there. How about this guy?
He's the best defensive third baseman we have in our system right now. Learned some things at AA a year ago. He's really starting to fill into his man strength, and we're seeing the power come on here this spring. But defensively, he's good to his right. He's good to his left. He's good coming in. He's good on balls right at him. He's going to be a special defensive third baseman. Our challenge is waiting long enough and being patient enough with this bat to let this bat become a major league quality bat. And unfortunately, when you rush offensive players because of their defensive skills or because of their speed or because they have another tool, you stagnate the bat growth. And Kid Bryant is a guy that we believe can be a really good major league hitter as well as being a Gold Glove caliber defender. We just need to let him continue to mature as a hitter, and hopefully that will continue this year at AAA, and he'll be knocking on the door here sooner than later.
That should be a fun left side of the infield at AAA then. At the curve, people saw it.
Absolutely.
In Altoona.
Really, that whole Indianapolis club, depending upon how things shake out, we're going to have as deep a prospect group that we've had here in the 12 years, or this is my 12th year. We'll have as deep a prospect group. We can go around the infield. All four infielders, depending upon how things play out, should be prospects. Two of the outfielders should be prospects. We'll have probably 6, 7, or maybe even 8 guys on our roster that'll be in that rotation and in that bullpen with Mitch Keller is one of the best prospects in the game in that rotation, assuming he doesn't make the club. Q Bryant, one of the best prospects in the game at third. Cole Tucker, one of the top 100 prospects in the game, lines up right now to be at short. It's going to be a fun club. Reynolds and Martin, if they don't make the club in the outfield. Kramer, if he doesn't make the club in the infield. Will Craig, he and his 100 RBIs and 20-some home runs last year in AA, he'll get that promotion, and it's going to be a fun club. They may get beat a little bit early. Young teams in AAA tend to get beat early by the veteran clubs, but this club's going to come into its own. And just another reason why we're excited, not only about 19, but we're excited about 20, 21, and 22, and where we can continue to push this thing forward, find our way back into the postseason through hard work, through execution, through talent, and then get deeper into the postseason and work to bring World Series championship number 6 back to Pittsburgh.
Neil, thanks for staying overtime with us. Very much. Really appreciate Neil Huntington, the general manager. It's great to hear some of the prospects that the Pirates have coming up, and that they are well stocked. That's really good stuff. As Jeff Hartlieb delivers to Eric Young Jr., and we'll go down to Robbie with Francisco.
I do have Papa Francisco Cervelli, that is the catcher. First of all, your impressions of Jordan Lyles this afternoon. What did you see?
Thanks, man.
Well, it's good. It's good. I faced him a lot of times, and this guy he got amazing stuff. So my expectations are the same when I used to be a hitter. So I don't think he got nothing to prove. This guy is a legit starting pitcher.
How about when you look at this rotation, how good can it be?
Well, you guys can make the opinion. My guys are my guys. They are the best. They work so hard, and they focus every game. They just want to win. So it's one of the best in the big league.
Okay, so forget about baseball for a minute. Give us a highlight. What did you do this offseason? Anything fun that you could share with the fans?
Well, I travel a lot, and I travel a lot, and I travel a lot, and I work a lot. I work in different places. I did my crazy stuff. You guys saw it. But spend time with family, quality time, time for myself, and because the season is long, so I need to work, but at the same time have fun.
So what did you work on primarily? We saw the workouts on the beach, the fun things that you're doing, the crawling in the sand, that type of stuff. What is the goal of those workouts, and what do you hope? How do you hope that translates onto the field?
Well, some people they don't understand, but I've been catching for 17 years, and then if you don't move your body, you're gonna get stuck, and then you're not gonna be able to play the longest you want. So what I do is make my career a little longer. I'm 33 right now, but I feel 20-something, so my body's amazing, and that's what I'm looking for. Be able to play until 40.
It was a great year for you offensively last year. Obviously, the health, you always want to stay healthy, but offensively it was really good. What fueled your season last year at the plate?
Oh, it was great, man. That's what I work for. I never stop doing different things to get better. I never get comfortable and say this is what I did, so we're gonna stay like this. So no, I always want more. If I can produce, my team is gonna win. So looking forward this season to do it better.
We always look at the numbers. We looked at Elias Diaz and yourself. Best catching tandem offensively in Major League Baseball, definitely in the National League for sure by a pretty good margin. What kind of pride do you take in performing, the two of you, the way you have?
Well, I told him last year in spring training, let's be the two best catchers in baseball. That's what we did, and we're looking forward to do the same thing because, like I say, we produce. It's an extra to win games, so it's good.
All right, we're going to end this interview, but I'm going to give you the microphone. I'm going to throw it back to Greg and Steve, okay? You do it.
Well, this is Francisco Cervelli. We just interviewed this guy, and then I get back to you guys. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Francisco. Excellent.
Vita Bella. And happy birthday to Francisco Cervelli.
Yeah.
He's turned 33 yesterday. And he gives way now to Arden Pabst. And thanks to Robbie. And a big hug. Matt Freed, the photographer, tweeted this out, this bear hug. Clint Hurdle, Francisco Cervelli this morning.
33, and he plays it like he's 25.
Yep.
A couple pitches that Hartley wanted. By the way, Hartley, sinker ball guy, power sinker, 95 and 96. A couple of readings on the speed gun. That's impressive for a guy that throws the sinker.
He has struck out
a
two
name
in the
to
inning.
remember. You like to pick out names.
Yep.
And he's gotten a lot of that too. People out in front just beating the ball down in the ground, as you and Neil talked about with Judge and Stanton.
I mean, Pirates really haven't had anybody since Jared Hughes with that type of stuff, that sinking
approach,
action where you can come in with men on and get a ground ball, get a double play, get a final out via the ground ball. And he's 6'6", 235 pounds, Hughes-like, and he strikes out the side after giving up the home run and the infield hit. DR, Young, and Rickard all down. 3-zip.
Are you guys good with breaking?
Ways to outsmart.
Pirates Spring Training Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by UPMC, making life-changing medicine happen. Let's go Bucks!
Bucks, Birds from the friendly city of Bradenton, Florida. UPMC scoreboard. Orioles have a 3-0 lead. A lot of families, youngsters, Bucco fans on hand here today, and hope you'll be on hand for opening day Monday, April the 1st against the St. Louis Cardinals at PNC Park, the home opener. Chris Archer, he is so excited about having that honor of pitching the home opener, as Lonnie Chisenhall also excited about wearing the black and gold this year. Leads things off against a new Orioles pitcher. That is Jeffrey Ramirez.
You know, one of the great things, we talk about so many great things about spring training, but we get a chance to mix and mingle a little bit more than we do up in Pittsburgh. So we're wandering in and out through the stands. This is going to be an easy 4-3. But you see the kids in the runways on the concourse. You get a chance to sign a ball every once in a while.
Yeah, it's fun.
Hey, how you doing, man? What's your name? Where do you are a ball player? And, yeah, where do you play? And the whole atmosphere gets more personalized. It personalizes the whole thing. With the players, you're closer. You can see their faces a little bit more. You get the protection from the screen now, which is good, but you're still close. It has got to be such a great thing to be a fan. And it's a great thing to see this ball go over the fence.
How about Eric Gonzalez? Not just over the fence, but I mean, crushed it onto the boardwalk. So he's even in the plus-minus department.
He is. Maybe a little bit ahead of the offense.
Gonzalez's first home run of the spring. Again, he was traded over from the Cleveland Indians. Pirates dealt Max Moroff, Jordan Luplow. Gonzalez had been a backup in Cleveland, and
that ball right there.
It's got some pop there.
That'll be a theme, because all we hear about is his glove, is his glove, his glove, and okay, he's capable of that. That's a nice little balancing act, at least for the day.
Well, he hit .265 last year in 81 games with the Indians.
Yeah, I mean, that's
he's a
not
263
awful.
career hitter. In you know, not a huge sample side. That's 260 at bats. So again, known for his glove because of the time he's been in Cleveland. He's been mainly used in that role, but yeah, 273 lifetime batter in the minors with the Tribe. Ke'Bryan Hayes, speaking of great glove work, was robbed of an extra base hit in the third, and here Jeffrey Ramirez strikes him out.
You know, there's a lot of guys that get attention for their bat that hit 263, 268. You know, not a horrible negative. I mean, that's kind of mid-range, isn't it?
Yeah, that's over parts of 3 years with Eric Gonzalez. Adam Frazier hit by pitches last time up.
Just like to see that he's capable of that. I mean, that ball was hit very hard and very long.
It's one of the things that's kind of stood out for many of us who had not seen Eric Gonzalez play, but over at Pirate City when position players reported and getting a chance to see him for the first time, he's a really athletic looking shortstop. You know, I'm guessing John Wayner might call him kind of wiry strong.
I mean, he's not that tiny.
No, yeah. Not tiny. Adam Frazier grounded out his first time up. Figures to be the leadoff hitter opening day, and a drive to right. Adam Frazier crushes this pitch. Jumped on it.
Up onto the boardwalk.
2 homers in the inning.
Up on, not under the boardwalk, up on the boardwalk.
Forward walk.
Forward walk.
Adam Frazier's home run. You know, this is just his second spring training start, Grapefruit League start, getting all those at-bats over at Pirate City. Boy, those are impressive home runs. Eric Gonzalez and Adam Frazier.
Everybody digs the long ball.
He can jump on a pitch. Marte jumped on that one.
He hit it down toward the Marriott.
Wow. Yeah, look out. The new Residence Inn is being constructed.
That would have been a fun half inning, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? See that ball be fair.
Look out.
I ducked. I could have made the
So
play.
did I, but you did. You made the play again.
No, I didn't.
It's
make
the Steve
play.
Blass year. Steve Blass's year. Hold on to that.
Chance. I had a chance.
Now you just dropped the ball because you're so upset with yourself.
I'm so embarrassed. So embarrassed.
Here's Rick Eckstein and Jacob Cruz, the hitting coach on your left, and to his left, his assistant. Starling Marte strikes out. But the Pirates, Eric Gonzalez homers over the center field wall, and Adam Frazier goes on the boardwalk to right. 3-2 Orioles, a couple of home runs. Eric Gonzalez and Adam Frazier for the Pirates. Frazier, Lonnie Chisenhall exit. We'll see some backups, minor league players as well. Starling Marte, Eric Gonzalez done for the day after 5 innings. That's routine here in spring training for the first, well, at least a couple of weeks.
I'll fill you in on all the changes when we get to them.
No, you won't. Here is
Liriano,
the
pitching.
real Papa Francisco Liriano, 35-year-old, back in a Bucco uniform. Here you go, Steve.
There's the updates. Weeman Martin, Kilblahan, Reyes, Tucker, they're all in there.
And there you have it.
Yep. Somebody's in their midseason form. They got that defensive alignment right up there on the screen. I think they had any prior knowledge as to who's coming in?
I'm guessing they might have.
No, right?
Sure.
"26 starts for the Tigers last year."
And you know, without trying to disrespect the Tigers, a 4.58 ERA. Let's go downstairs to Robbie and Adam.
Ball that he hit into the boardwalk, we were just about maybe 25, 30 feet away from where that ball landed. When you make contact like that, do you know right away?
I didn't get that one quite as good as I thought. A little bit of top spin. I was just hoping it stayed up enough to get out of here.
How's your camp going?
It's going well. It's going well. I haven't played much yet, so I'm still trying to get to the groove of things. So it's a work in progress.
You know, one thing that Clint Hurdle has done this year that's different than previous years, he's having a lot of the starters, a lot of regulars like yourself, face each other in sim games over at Pirate City. How is that beneficial? We know what it's like for the pitchers to get feedback. How's that beneficial for you?
It's been great for myself and all the other guys, too. It's, you know, getting to face guys like Musgrove, Archer, Trevor, J-Mo. I mean, it's 4 premier arms. So not just a couple of bats here and there. We're getting like 5, 10 each time, so it's good. Get those reps, and then we can give them the feedback on, you know, what we're seeing, what we're not seeing, what's good, what's not, and you know, it's you know, it's huge for both.
How is that? What is that like with the interaction with your teammates? Obviously, Jamison Tyone said he's not going to go up to an opposing team's player and say, "What did you see?" But he will go up to you and say, "What did you see?" What are those discussions like?
Like that, you know, basically just like that. You know, whether their pitches are sharing space or not, a lot of that. You know, what we're picking up, what we're not picking up. And then it's kind of like, you know, it's the competition factor. If we get them, we get them, and we're going to talk back to them a little bit. And same for them. Like Musgrove's on me a little bit, so I'm still kind of bitter about that.
Oh, we'll have to get on Joe about that. Let's discuss the future, at least the 2019 season. Josh Harrison no longer a Pirate. Looks like you're going to be the guy at second base. What's your level of comfort going in, knowing you're going to play perhaps one position all season long?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me going into the offseason and in the spring is mentally preparing for that one spot instead of you know, scattering thoughts, you know, throughout the field. So that's the, you know, the biggest takeaway I've had so far is, you know, I can lock in here, put all my effort into here instead of trying to save my energy to run around the outfield and that kind of deal. So it's been good so far, but like I said, a lot of work to go.
Adam, hey, good luck this season. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Robbie.
Greg?
That's great stuff. Thank you to Robbie and to Adam Frazier and Francisco Liriano with a nice assist from the third baseman, the new third baseman, Ke'Bryan Hayes-like, Alfredo Reyes, who was recently added as a non-roster invitee. He had just been a minor league player playing a bunch. The Pirates getting a long look at him, playing at a number of different positions. His throw was in the dirt and backhand pick by Josh Bell on the other end.
Beautiful work. Great reaction at third. Great pick.
And Liriano. A fly ball, and Reyes is going to run out of room. Here's another look.
That's a bullet to third on the backhand side. Ole, the pick, and the pick.
Obviously, the Pirates liking what they're seeing of Alfredo Reyes. He's bouncing around now, playing a number of positions, and that's what you're looking for this year from Francisco Liriano. Back with the Bucks. 3-2 Baltimore.
Are you guys? Net is brought to you by Barrel Auto. Check out the Barrel Hot List at barrel.com. Now the only way to buy a car. And by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
3-2. Orioles leading the Pirates here at Lecom Park in Bradenton, Florida. And minor league affiliates. Well, first of all, you go 907 miles north to Pittsburgh. Indy is 873 miles. And the rest of the Pirate affiliates, including Altoona, just 3 miles over to the minor league complex. Pirate City, new minor league affiliate in Greensboro this season. The Black Bears in Morgantown, West Virginia, the New York Penn League affiliate.
Plus the Dominican Academy, over 1,000 miles.
Yeah,
the other way. República Dominicana.
Corey Dickerson, mid-season form with his second hit. Well, he doesn't take any time off, too. And the other day, he tripled. He could easily have coasted in to second base for a double. Full throttle for him.
See him get the looked like from up here the hands got in and he was able to not just knee-jerk pull that ball foul. Just kind of keep the arms out and the hands back enough to steer that ball into fair territory. That's nice hitting.
Another look from this angle. The double to right.
Because of that, they'll get the rest of the day off.
Jason DeLay going to pinch run. Josh Bell going to get another at bat. He's 0 for 2. And a ball to the wall in center field in the second inning. Bunch of changes we'll get to momentarily here for the Orioles. Typical spring training game, still relatively early in the Grapefruit League.
Yeah, no cuts yet for the Pirates. 62 players in camp, and they're still here. Most of them will be obvious, and they'll do that in mass at some point, you would think.
New catcher there, Andrew Susac.
Maybe we'll adjust everything and have Bryce Harper get Mike Trout for us next year. Did you see that in the paper today?
Yeah, he's been outspoken about it. I don't know, the baseball cares for it. Major League Baseball might be looking into the tampering issue.
How can they possibly think tampering? I mean, why is that subject raised? Do you consider that tampering if a guy talks about another player?
I don't. But
I don't either. I don't.
They do.
I mean, who wouldn't like to have Mike Trout?
Yeah, I think that probably it'd be okay if he had said that rather than, hey, I'm going to start telling him to come over here. I guess probably Angel fans don't like that. Maybe that's
a
like
clown question, bro.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He did when he was 19.
Yeah, the Phillies, the new look Phillies with Andrew McCutchen and Bryce Harper. We gave you the information about the six-pack this season. Pirates season tickets. There are all kinds of season ticket packages available. You choose what games fit your budget, your schedule. Those Phillies will make their first and only trip into Pittsburgh after the All-Star break in July. 3-2. Josh Bell. What kind of season for Josh Bell? Now teamed up with a new hitting coach, Rick Eckstein. It's been kind of a pet project almost immediately when Eckstein was hired to go see Josh Bell, meet with him, talk about the mechanics of what they're trying to do. 26 home runs as a rookie 2 years ago. 90 RBIs. So it's in there. Steve was commenting when he was down around the batting cage about Bell. It looks even bigger. I mean, he is
a big man. He is
just so strong. Now at 26 years of age.
The closer you stand to him, the bigger he appears and is. He was putting some hurting on some baseballs in BP. Down close to that batting cage, there was something. Comes up empty there.
A strikeout for Jeffrey Ramirez. Well, big time game coming up. Bucks and Pucks Day here on AT&T Sportsnet. Tonight, Penguins, Blue Jackets. They're fighting in a Metropolitan Division matchup playoff spot with them. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Penguins pregame. They're neck and neck. With Penn's got, I think, 79 points. Blue Jackets with 77 points. Getting to playoff positioning.
That's when they start talking about that game in hand and that sort of thing. Yep, it's getting down to that right now.
It's a playoff-like game tonight on AT&T Sportsnet. Bucks and Pucks doubleheader. By the way, another Bucks and Pucks doubleheader on Saturday. Pens will take on the Blue Jackets. Pirates will be here on AT&T Sportsnet on Saturday against the Minnesota Twins. A handful of new managers in baseball. Brandon Hyde here. Rocco Baldelli, Minnesota, taking over for Paul Molitor. Arden Pabst, minor league catcher for the Pirates and a non-roster invitee. Pinch ran for Cervelli in the 4th and grounds out in his first at bat here in the 6th. Another game here on AT&T Sportsnet right here against the Toronto Blue Jays. On Lecom Park, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. Charlie Montoyo is the manager for the Blue Jays, another former Rays coach. Here now is Daniel Amaral. You might remember the name Rich Amaral, who played in the big leagues for a while. A lot of years with the Seattle Mariners. He and Clint Hurdle, I believe, might have played in the minors together. There was some tie that they had, and Clint Hurdle, and you'll see managers do this on occasion when former big leaguers have sons that are playing in the minor leagues. They'll come over to from minor league camp to play in a big league game, and that's what Clint Hurdle has done here for Daniel Amaral, a draft pick by the Pirates last year out of UCLA. Amaral in left field currently, taking over for Melky Cabrera, and he's caught looking. Leadoff double for Corey Dickerson. Birds up by a run. Orioles lead 3-2 Orioles here at the former McKechnie Field, now Lecom Park. Francisco Liriano going out there for a second inning. This is Alcides Escobar.
You think Clint's trying to trick us a little bit? I kind of like this. Marte is out, but Martin is in. So
it's a trick.
It's a trick.
Yep.
Just testing us.
And you kind of like it.
I do.
Yes.
Kiblahan and right. Cole Tucker, shortstop. Will Craig at first. All that stuff going on. We probably saw that in the graphic, didn't we?
Some of those changes were made early. Cole Tucker came in last inning. Will Craig enters the game now at first base. 3-0. There's the big man. You heard Neil Huntington talk about can't sneeze at 102 RBIs.
Nope.
Double A Altoona. 3-1. Liriano probably going to pitch out of the bullpen at least at the start of the year, but we were saying that if you look at his numbers last year, a 4.58 ERA for the Tigers. There are a lot of fifth starters that don't have as good numbers.
We should have asked Neil, is Liriano a candidate for the fifth spot? And
anything can happen.
He won't embarrass you. Let me put it that way.
Back with the Pirates for the first time since that 2016 season. He was dealt to Toronto. Was the National League Comeback Player of the Year. In 2013, went 16-8 with a 3.02 ERA. Under the watchful eye of Ray Searage.
Still got that good sinking hard fastball out away from the right-hand batters. He has made a living placing the ball with that little movement out on the end of the batting swing.
There's Cole Tucker, the scoop.
Nicely done.
Yeah, fans of the Altoona Curve got a chance to see that left side of the infield last year with Key Brian Hayes and Cole Tucker. And now AAA Indianapolis going to get a chance to see those two young prospects. Kevin Kramer at second base. Will Craig at first. That should be, again, Neil Huntington was talking about that. Brian Reynolds, Jason Martin in the outfield. So it worked the first time when he went from the American League to the National League. Well, how about this time? Returns to the senior circuit.
Don't be surprised. These guys know what they're doing. We've talked about it a lot of times. A lot of young hitting talent in the big leagues, and in this case in the National League, that haven't quite got it all figured out, and a crafty left-hander can still get the job done.
Facing Andrew Susak, his first at bat. Now catching for Baltimore.
Do I see those old stirrup game stockings on this guy? Susak? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah,
there you go.
Check it out. That's the way we used to wear them.
The old stirrups.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just painted on. Those are the real deal right there.
That's the real deal. Yep. Put on the sanitary stockings underneath the white ones, and then you put on your stirrup stockings and go to work.
And a reach. Pittsburgh Pirates spring training baseball always live with MLB at bat. Follow the action through game day, watch video highlights and track stats, standings, breaking news, and more. Download MLB at bat now. It's your #1 Pirates app. So a 2-out walk. Zach Reinheimer, who took over last half inning at second base for Jonathan VR. Could not hold up.
Looking for that offense to continue after the take care of the top of the 7th. The Pirates have scored a bunch of runs in the last 4 days, averaging 7 a game, 28 runs in the last 4 games for the Bucks.
Beat up on the Boston Red Sox yesterday, the world champs.
And then Baltimore the day before.
Green light, longboard, Nick Ultra, Superior beer. Who's ready?
Well, test here for Liriano. He was okay against right-handed batters last year, but nearly unhittable against the left-handed hitters. They hit only 170 against him. Bill Welke, home plate umpire. Talk about a veteran. Looks like that pitch was looking to come back on the inside part of the plate. Two and two on Reinheimer facing Liriano, who struck out 2 of the 3 men he faced in the 6th. 1-2-3 inning. And here gets a couple of ground ball outs before the walk. And now Nick Birdie loosens in the bullpen. There's Tucker. A little scoop and a toss and a final out. Great day here in Bradenton, Florida. The stand for the 7th inning stretch. Come on, get up. 3-2 ball game. Pirates trail the Baltimore Orioles here in beautiful Bradenton, Florida. Our first telecast on AT&T Sports Net. We're going to have the rest of the home games for you, including the next couple right here. And we've got hashtag Bucks Booth if you want to pass along your photo, comments, and Jim Morrow and his family enjoying a great day. Brad and his family with the parrot right here at Lecom. I can't think of a better place than being right here.
Stan.
The dogs.
Getting after it.
First dog of the year for Stan.
Won't be the last.
There's Patrick Kivlahan. We saw a couple of young Pirate fans really enjoying themselves before the game. Brooklyn and Carter Free from State College, brother and sister. Happy birthday to Sean Bianchi from Pitcairn. He's down here with his girlfriend Penny Rice. Happy birthday, Sean. Celebrating his birthday right here. Patrick Kivlahan put himself in a position, maybe, to find a way onto this team as a utility man. And it's a high fly ball. That's not going to hurt his cause in the least. A deep drive for Patrick Kivlahan.
With St. Patrick's Day coming up.
Kivlahan with his second home run of the spring. He has 7 hits and 18 at bats. He has big league experience. And it's tied up at 3 on the Kivlahan dinger.
Knew he got all of it. So did everybody else up in those green seats.
He is a remarkable story. He's had, again, big league experience, mainly with the Reds. Last year was playing minor league ball. Did get I think 9 games in with the Diamondbacks. As Cole Tucker, switch hitting shortstop, gets his first at bat of the day. Kivlahan's home run in his first at bat today ties the game.
I'm watching the always engaging Cole Tucker.
Yeah. Hitting .308, big league camp.
Talk about an upbeat personality and pleasant fellow to be around.
Cole Tucker will open up the season at AAA Indianapolis. He continues to grow and hits a high fly ball to right field. Look at this. Look at this shot. Cole Tucker.
There's that offense I was talking about.
4 home runs for the Pirates. The guys that'll be starting the year in Pittsburgh and the guys that'll be knocking on the door showing off.
Boy. Well, that'd be a fun with the affiliates tomorrow morning. Talk about the offense.
Boy, oh boy. Kivlahan and Tucker greet Jeffrey Ramirez. He's given up 4 dingers. Another look at this drive.
See, they're looking up, and it's over their heads, over the boardwalk, over the fence, over the boardwalk, down in the practice area.
That 53 medallion, by the way, in honor of the late Evan Chambers, was a prospect of the Pirates organization who passed away suddenly a handful of years ago. That ball sailed over everybody. Cole Tucker giving the Pirates the lead. And here's Alfredo Reyes, the guy we were talking about earlier, who was playing a bunch of games early in camp as a minor league player, so there was no name on the back of his uniform. He just come over from minor league camp, but a few days ago the Pirates added the name on the back of the uniform and made him a big league invitee, essentially. He'll very likely start the year in the minors, but Clint Hurdle and Neil Huntington wanted to see, as they look for utility players, something Steve mentioned at the start of the telecast, players that can bounce around. Well, Alfredo Reyes has been playing just about everywhere this spring. He's been in the Pirates minor leagues for a couple years. Not Pablo. We've seen Pablo Reyes. He played in the big leagues last year with the Pirates, and he has played a bunch this spring. But Alfredo Reyes, no relation, was originally signed by the New York Mets 9 years ago out of the Dominican Republic. Ramirez strikes him out. So we're excited about opening day. Hope you are too. April the 1st, Monday afternoon against the St. Louis Cardinals, 1:05. All fans will get a magnetic Pirate schedule presented by PNC Bank. Tickets available at pirates.com/opening day. Monday, April 1st against the Redbirds. Here is Stephen Alamez. Third round pick of the Pirates out of Tulane 3 years ago.
So you want to dig in and add to the home runs, huh? Well,
yeah.
Get your head out of the way.
Get your attention.
Trying to get your head right.
Stephen Alames. The opening day is 3 weeks from today in Cincinnati. Jameson Taillon will be on the mound for the Pirates. Coverage will start at 3 o'clock in 3 weeks. That should warm you up just thinking about that. And again, opening day at PNC Park Monday, April the 1st. Enjoying some sunshine here on that boardwalk. 94 strikes him out. 6 Ks.
94 on the outside corner will get it done a good bit of the time.
One step closer to that day, opening day at PNC Park. Great shot there. Be on hand for it. It is going to be a fun year at the ballpark in 2019. Do not miss out.
The Parrot will not miss out.
Jason Martin, he's not too far from the big leagues. One of the players the Pirates got in the Garrett Cole deal. He's been impressive to watch this spring. Started last year at Altoona with a curve, hit .325, then on to Indy. Listed at 5'9", 23 years old, from Corona, California. Left-handed hitter. Jason Martin.
Speaking of home runs, he had a bomb that he hit up in Clearwater, I think, the first game we did.
Very first game against the Phillies. He won the game with that home run. .353 average this spring. And into left field. And not easy, but that is the final out. Back-to-back home runs, Kivlehan, Tucker, and the Pirates now lead 4-3.
Are you guys good with breaks?
Spring training baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Sheely's. Furniture, appliances, mattresses. The best things in life happen at home. Let's go Bucks!
Cole Tucker is he'll say what he'll say, talk to anybody. He's just as an effervescent, gregarious personality who, at the age of 22, plays and acts older than that.
And plays and acts younger than that sometimes in terms of enthusiasm.
Oh, the joy of the game, right?
Yep. And we saw that when he signed. Remember coming to Pittsburgh?
Yep.
We saw that.
Yep, very first day.
Yep.
Patrick Kivlehan, he and Cole Tucker with home runs. Watch the dugout, watching this swing by Cole Tucker. I mean, everybody loves Cole Tucker. Look at that.
Well, we get a good shot when a left-hander hits a home run at the PNC Park, and we see the fans when it's so slow standing up, almost a wave-like when they know it's going to be out.
Here's Nick Birdie. Hey, father-son at the ballpark.
It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better than
That's what
that.
it's all about.
Right there. Watching ball game.
It's awesome. See this ball, that's 96 or 7, depending on what reading you're seeing. And on our AT&T Sportsnet, you see the 96 from Nick Birdie. There's 97 from this big right-hander from Hinsdale, Illinois.
Looks like the arm is quite healthy.
Nick Birdie delivers, and that's driven off the base of the wall. Amaral Fires toward third, and a double for Christopher Bostic. Of course, we saw him in the Pirates organization for a couple of years and in the majors. So he greets Birdie with a double.
And Pabst goes out and greets Birdie with information about what signs they're going to use with a man on second base, trying to protect a one-run lead.
With the new right fielder, Anthony. You heard Ray Searage tell us earlier that there really aren't that many spots in the pen, maybe one or two guys. So it's going to be a tough call for the Pirates. Although, you know, there are a lot of Rule 5 guys that you keep on a roster. Most of the time it's for a full season, but because of the Major League time he put in last year, being on the DL, the Pirates organization, as Arden Pabst, the catcher, got clipped on the backswing. Nick Birdie isn't a guy that the Pirates would really hide out of the bullpen. If they decide to keep him, it's because they think he can get outs. And he's been impressive in the short amount of time we've seen him. Nick Birdie, Tommy John surgery, recovering most of last year. Former second-round pick of the Twins. Broken bat, and that's going to tie the game. A base hit for Anthony Santander in his first AB. Brings home Bostic, and it's 4-4. Now Ryan Mountcastle, who is now the first baseman.
Didn't get a lot of this ball, just maybe off the handle, might have broke the bat. Had that sound, but enough lift to gently nudge it into center field and tie the game.
Birdie working with Arden Pabst. One of a handful of catchers still in camp. You need a bunch of catchers early because you got a bunch of pitchers, or they start paring things down. Another fastball that misses to Ryan Mountcastle. One of the top prospects in the Orioles system.
When I was hanging around in uniform a couple weeks ago, I talked to Justin DeLay, a catcher who was here also. I said, how many pitchers have you warmed up? And he said, millions. Because, you know, everybody's throwing every day, and you need catchers, like you say.
Yeah. They get their work in, don't they?
Yeah, they get a taste of what it's all about, and they know what the deal is. They know why they're there. But it's still the atmosphere you want to be around. If you keep your eyes and ears open, you can learn things along the way.
And Steve was in camp early as a guest instructor.
So much fun to sit right directly in back of some of these pitchers, just throwing on the side in their bullpen sessions and noticing things. Watching Richard Rodriguez, the way he throws across his body, maybe creating a lot of the deception and answering the question of why a guy doesn't throw in the high 90s, still gets a lot of swings and misses. Well, they're not seeing the ball, not picking it up, and you got an idea of why that was, throwing across his body. Here comes Ray Searage, and he wants to join in the existing conversation.
Ray Searage makes the trip to the mound. Tough go here for Birdie in this outing. He has, up to this point, been pretty impressive. It's his fourth outing of the spring. Coming into this particular relief appearance, he had given up just a couple of hits with 4 strikeouts.
Very much the power guy. You don't see a lot of subtlety at this point in his deliveries, and you wonder if they're just timing up that continuing line of fastballs.
Again, a second-round pick 5 years ago by the Twins. The Phillies selected him in the Rule 5 draft December of 2017, the middle of that month, and then the Pirates traded for him. Austin Hayes, 0 for 3.
There's a little something off the fastball at 87 miles an hour. Give him a little different look to deal with.
Might have been a suggestion from Ray Searage.
Mm-hmm.
Four-all game. Again, Steve, away from the fastball.
Yep.
Nick Birdie for the Pirates.
Now the Heat. Yeah. See, there you go. That's pretty good sequence right there.
The designated hitter, number 24, DJ Stewart.
0-2. Give him that mid to upper 90 fastball after some 86, 87 mile an hour stuff.
Here's DJ Stewart, the designated hitter for the Orioles.
And we go again. Yep. I think you're right on track, Greg. That could have been the message that Ray went out and said, hey, you can't be one-dimensional. And it's not just all the time trying to use the off-speed pitch to set up a fastball to do that. You can get the outs with the off-speed pitch. You get a guy that's just out there in front, so he doesn't have the good swing, doesn't get the good part of the bat on it. So not only a setup pitch, you can get an out with it. So different looks. Show them different looks.
Run in a double by Christopher Bostic started this inning, and then Santander, the RBI single, then a walk to Mountcastle. Hayes strikes out looking, and the batter for Baltimore is DJ Stewart. DJ Stewart from Gainesville, Florida. First round pick out of Florida State. Yeah, get some caps available here at the Pirate Gift Shop.
Because it has
that would match my nice gray shirt.
That would match your shirt.
Mm-hmm. I'd go with the gray.
Yeah. What else you got here?
The top to match the gray. Just make sure you pay on the way out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't just give you these items like they do for Steve.
That'd be awesome on my husband.
How about that? You're shopping?
Buy something for Dad.
Yeah, since he's up north in the cold,
working.
Least you could do for him. Two balls, two strikes. And Brandon Waddell, another Pirate prospect, moves into the bullpen. Under the watchful eyes of Yuki Rojas, he's back. How good is he?
As good as anybody. And every once in a while, if you behave yourself around him, you'll get one of those great cigars.
It's great going on the plane once in a while.
Slip you one.
Right, yeah.
Just big smile. Yep. Just not a word.
Herbie will do that. Herbie Andrade.
Yeah. He gave me one during the week I was guest instructing, as you would call it, and he wanted to report on it. He wanted the critique, and he got a good critique, good marks.
And a foul tip for a strikeout. Good opportunity for Birdie to work his way out of this jam. The double, single walk. Now a strikeout.
Here's the well set up fastball again. And there's nothing wrong with that fastball. Just put some items in and around it.
The shortstop now is Drew Jackson. Alcides Escobar started this game for the Orioles. So first at bat for Drew Jackson. Here to pop.
Yep, nothing wrong with that heat at all. And if you can complement it with something else, well, you get those strikeouts.
And Pabst keeps it close. You want to say it or should I?
You.
Blue ribbon play?
Yep.
Bob and I talked on the webcast yesterday that it is our goal, as long as Pabst is in these games, we're going to at least once a game come up with some pun.
Yeah, way to go, bud.
It's not bad. Wow. Nick Birdie.
Comeback time.
Talk about put a big foot down.
Good visit, Ray.
Yeah.
Are you guys good with breaks?
Copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Tied up at 4 here in our first telecast of the 2019 season on AT&T Sportsnet. Back at it again tomorrow and Saturday. The Bucks and Pucks doubleheader today. Pens will follow against the Blue Jackets a little bit later on. And then tomorrow, Pirates will again be here at Lee Cobb. And again on Saturday. Here's Miguel Castro.
Control issues on that board. Almost as many walks as strikeouts.
Doesn't waste much time. Goes after delay. A swing and a miss.
Of course. Well, he who hesitates.
Yep. Jason DeLay, a 4th round pick of the Pirates a couple years ago out of Vanderbilt.
Would that make him a personal favorite of Ryan Brown?
I think so. Down on strikes. There's Will Craig coming up now against Castro. And today's Barrel Automotive League leader stat. The all-time leaders in RBIs in one season in Altoona Curve history. Only Adam Heistu, the one-time mayor of Altoona, had his number retired. 106 ribbies. Will Craig 102.
Remember back in the days when Matt Haig was one of our favorites, right?
Hit collector, right?
Yep.
Well, all those guys had some big league time, including, of course, Jose Bautista and Rob Makoviak. You and I keep talking about wanting to see Will Craig get into one. You saw a mammoth shot in batting practice. Love to see him connect.
Get the ideal conditions, kind of a following breeze out to most parts of the outfield right now.
Craig, a 24-year-old from Johnson City, Tennessee, lives in Nashville. Hitting coaches there. Jacob Cruz, the towel wrapped around his neck. Craig, first-round pick 3 years ago out of Wake Forest. Drafted as a third baseman, made the conversion over to first. Broke his back, a pop up. Base hit with a hit out of it.
All right. Didn't really get all of that one.
No, not quite. Even with that wind, the little breeze out towards center. Take that hit though, Will Craig. He's in big league camp. That's his 7th hit in 18 at bats this spring. He's driven in 5 runs and walked 4 times for the Pirates. And now Arden Pabst. Michael McHenry going to sit down with Jacob Cruz after the game. We'll keep it right here on AT&T Sportsnet. The Fort, Rob King back again this year. There's Jacob Cruz, one-time first-round pick of the Giants. Talking to minor league hitting coach Ryan Long. On a strike on Pabst. Two balls and a strike.
You send him here, Greg?
No. Brandon Waddell will be the new pitcher for the Pirates. Do you, Steve? Sure, go ahead.
Yep. Just to see if I can beat you in one guess. All right, here's your $1.
Nope. 2-2. Brian Edloff is back down here, getting some great shots. Right there by the bullpen. That's the look he's giving us. A couple of K's here for Miguel Castro. And again, it'll be Daniel Amaral. And he struck out looking in the 6th. Like his father, a Bruin, UCLA. Brandon Waddell will be coming on to pitch for the Pirates in the 9th. It's a nice touch by these big league managers. Give a guy like Daniel Amaral a chance to play in a major league game. Out of Long Beach, California. Again, a 14th round pick just last year out of UCLA. Played for the West Virginia Black Bears last year. And how about that? That's a solid single to right.
Yep.
And that's a big time smile right there, Steve. Kamara Barti, the handshake.
Yeah, he'll remember this afternoon. Take that outside pitch and push it out to right field.
Daniel Amaral.
There's a base hit and take this ball game right to the 9th inning.
Got the man to do it right here. Spring he's having. Patrick Kivlahan.
Somebody got crossed out. That was a fastball that had movement in toward the batter, and the catcher wants to go out and say, well, hey, got a man on second base there. Don't cross me up.
Kivlahan, Nyack, New York native, played in just 9 games with the Arizona Diamondbacks last year. Kivlahan was a football player at Rutgers. In fact, it was only when he got to his senior year he decided to try out for baseball. He hadn't played since high school. He was a D-back for the Rutgers football team, and he ended up that senior year, the 1 year he played in college, ended up being a Big East Conference Player of the Year in 2012. Hit .402. So Castro strikes out 3, leaves a couple on base, and it's tied at 4 going to the 9th. 4-4 ball game, and we've got another Pirate Spring Training game right back at it tomorrow here on AT&T Sportsnet. And our first spring break broadcast, limited commercial breaks and extra analysis tomorrow from the Fort. Michael McHenry all game long. Take a spring break with us tomorrow afternoon starting at 1. Bucks, Blue Jays, Trevor Williams expected to start right here at Lecom. It's a split squad. The Pirates are also going to play the Blue Jays up in Dunedin. Here is Brandon Waddell.
Lefty out of Houston, Texas. Combined stats between Altoona and Indianapolis. Altoona 2-1 with a 2.68 ERA. That bumped him up to AAA. Started 15 games.
And Yusniel Diaz, maybe their top prospect, I guess without a doubt their top prospect. The centerpiece of the Manny Machado trade with the Dodgers last year. Yusniel Diaz singles to right. How about this tweet for Steve? Needs to get Twitter so we could keep in touch after the season ends. Would you consider?
No, I'll just give you a phone number. Give me a call.
Okay. On your cell phone, your car phone,
yep.
Landline?
Well, it's smarter than I am. I'm not sure what to call it. My car is smarter than I am. My phone, my television set.
Didn't you try working recently with a computer and you started hitting some keys and what happened?
Yeah, and the garage door went up, so I don't go near it anymore. Yeah, thank you. Fastball right over the middle of the plate.
Andrew Susac gets a call there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Sox Susac, I call him now with the Major League
I like
Sox.
that Sox Susac.
All right, Sox. How about that ground ball to Cole Tucker?
It is nice they're honoring Frank Robinson with that patch there.
Mm-hmm.
The all-time greats. Talked about it early on. Did you ever have a chance, I assume you did over the years, when he became a manager for a while, that you would have some conversations?
Yeah, and he was a tough guy on the surface. There's the swing and a miss. But if you stayed with him a little bit, you know, he got real.
Yeah.
I would talk to him. I would say, Frank, hey, I just need to talk to you about your ball club. I'm not going to talk about the 71 series.
Oh, that's good. Give him a little dig.
Yeah, so he had the edge going right away. We talked. And I said, why'd you stop short? He got close to 500 home runs. He said, because you weren't pitching anymore.
Oh, good. He had to come back ready.
Oh, yeah, he was ready for me. I always remember that subtle touch.
Mm-hmm.
When Clemente hit a home run over his head and a little tap of the cap, a little tip of the cap.
Frank Robinson did?
Yep. Acknowledging Mr. Clementine, as we used to call him. Or Juan Pizarro would call him that. We didn't call him that.
You'll miss running into Frank Robinson. I know you'll miss, too, your former roommate and Bob Friend, who passed away just really before the Pirates were ready to report to spring training. And talk about a touch of class, Steve. I just thought it was tremendous that they didn't have a memorial service yet for him, so they just had the viewing up there in Oakmont. And you got on a flight early one morning, went up there and paid your respects to Pat and the family.
Yep.
Just speaks about how important he was to you, what a great friend he was to you.
Yeah, and he's a guy that did really good things as a major league pitcher. And when you would talk to him, he never bought up his career too much. He figures it stood for himself, and 163 complete games. Yeah, that four-time All-Star. And people say he never missed a turn. Now, I don't know how you keep track of that.
Certainly never went on the disabled list.
Yeah, and just a quality pitcher with some bad Pittsburgh Pirate teams over the years. 191 wins, and threw a sinker as heavy as anybody. I played catch with him before the game sometimes, before BP, and just have like you were catching a shot put. But so much help to me personally. I've said it so many times. I'll say it again. He helped me, and along with his teammates, helped me go from a ball player to a major leaguer, and that's a lot. That really is a lot. And I'm going to have a chance to talk to the ball club as we get ready to say goodbye to spring training, and I'm going to bring that up, how valuable that was to me. And if you remember somebody talking to the club, current ball players, somebody that was in their background that helped you with that, don't ever lose track of it, and hopefully you can pass it on.
A little flare by Christopher Bostic is going to go for extra bases.
Just a little fist shot over the head of Will Craig, and all kind of time for everybody to run. So now they have set up shop with 2 outs. Mr. Brandon Waddell is going to try to get an out. Robert Bartman's friend out of Purdue University is a Boilermaker. That would endear him right away to Pirate fans. Boilermaker.
Yeah. Well, what a great human.
Yeah. He a varied career after baseball. He was in the banking business. I got the mortgage from Bob Friend and Commercial Bank when we bought our house in Pittsburgh. He was working for Commercial Bank. Later on became the county controller. Yeah. Later worked, had a great career with Babb and Company. You just go all the way back. He was known as Pitch, Pat and Pitch. Pat Friend, his wife, she gave Karen a baby shower rookie year. I mean, just they're really decent people, along with being so talented. Bob, he was great. He was great.
Just absolutely sorely missed. Just talk about an appropriate surname, Friend.
And loved to sing. Yeah. Absolutely. Every alumni Christmas party, Bob would lead the Christmas carols. I'd get up with him. We'd do the 12 days of Christmas. And it was just, it was his joy of singing. And he was pretty good. He'd hit those late notes and reach up there and get them. You could always see the enjoyment on his face when he had a chance to sing. And there will be a memorial service sometime when we get back to Pittsburgh, and I will be there along with a lot of people.
Popped it up. Is there room for Arden Pabst? No. Some fans behind home plate when that ball was hit kind of shied away from that. Not Steve Blass-like at all. They backed away from that foul ball.
Yeah. Amazing how quickly
got to go after it.
Get my head under this desk up here.
Oh, come on. You were diving for it.
Half right.
Trying to get the last out and then try and win it in the bottom of the ninth. Brandon Waddell. Been out there a handful of times now this spring. Again, 19 appearances, 15 starts at AAA Indy last year. This is his fourth outing of the spring. Another pop-up and out of play.
Staying alive.
Facing Anthony Santander. He had the RBI single last inning. For these Orioles, who again lost 115 games last year, which blew away the franchise mark 107 losses by that 1988 team that was managed by Frank Robinson and lost its first 21 games that year. 0-21 to start that season. And Waddell, a strikeout. Oh, nice reaction from the folks here. With a final out. Heading to the bottom of the 9th inning, and yeah, we all have heavy hearts losing our friend, great Bob Friend.
Are you guys good with breaks?
We're okay.
So tie game. How will this one end? Cole Tucker, who homered his last time up, will lead off. His first at bat of this day. Cole Tucker launches one deep toward that boardwalk.
One last thought about Bob Friend. One of his highlights, he used to like to talk about, I don't know what year, I don't know who the opponent was, but Vernon Law pitched the first 17 innings of a game. Vernon Law threw 17. Bob came in, pitched 1 inning, got the win.
Well, you talk about a vulture win.
Oh, yeah. He pitched 17 innings.
My goodness.
You don't get the win.
Well, but she loved to remind the Deacon about that.
Well, and the Deacon was a little testy about it on occasion.
I'm sure he was.
One of the great 1-2 punches of Vernon Law and Bob Friend. That's we talked about going north with a couple of guys you could count on.
Cole Tucker with a drive to right center field wins the game. 2 at-bats, 2 home runs. What a finish and what a game for you on AT&T Sportsnet.
Yeah.
Just before we came back from the commercial, Steve said, I guarantee we win this game on a home run. And Cole Tucker, as popular as it gets.
That's the way to treat your fans to a big finish. How about that?
2 no-doubters for Cole Tucker. How about that?
Take yourself a bow.
Pirates hit 5 solo homers. Another look.
How good is that? I mean, he just got all of it, too, on both of them. Nothing cheap.
That is a sweet-looking swing. Homers to right field in the 7th to tie it, and he wins this spring training game. Really a perfect afternoon.
Yeah. Put a big red ribbon on this one.
How neat. Oh, man, plenty to talk about our debut, the 2019 AT&T Sportsnet season, and we send it back up to Rob and Michael.
Well, Greg and Steve, thanks very much. And, a lot of fun. We talked about